This is my favorite drum innovation that has ever occurred.
That's my opinion!
Before we begin, I want to say I have links to all of these cymbals down in the description. You can find links that bring you right over to Amazon. You could buy these right down below. There's the packets. There's even the individual ones. So go check it out. Hello, greetings, hi, how are you? 3 years ago today, I did a video talking about the Zildjian L80 Low-Volume Cymbals matched with the Remo Silent Stroke drum heads, which is here. 3 years later, I'm still using them, and I'm loving them even more than I did the first time. As I showed you guys, you can easily talk and play the drums at the same time. It really does make it insanely simple because, you know what, like, I'm in a townhouse. I'm not going to go on with the beat forever. I'm in a townhouse. I have neighbors all around me. Being able just to do that alone, just to talk and play the drums, is the biggest thing. I've always wanted to teach. This gives me that avenue to do it. I enjoy playing in my confined space, and it's great. It really is great. Not much has changed besides the setup, but I just wanted to talk about these cymbals and what has changed since the initial video. In the initial video, I had said that these cymbals were very limited, and that's not true anymore. So at the time, when these cymbals just came out, this was within the first year of them being released. It only came in the 14, the 16, and the 18-inch cymbal. And these cymbals are great, but it only came in that pack, and then they had a 13-inch hi-hat pack and a, I think, 18-inch pack. That's all in the description still below. But all the packs are the same. They haven't changed the packs, but what they did is one of the biggest things that I had requested in the time was they made these cymbals finally individual. So I could buy this cymbal, or I could buy this cymbal, or I could buy these hi-hats, or now a 20-inch ride, an 18-inch china, a 10-inch splash. They really are doing a great job. And in that video I made 3 years ago, Avida Zildjian, the YouTube company, or the YouTube account, they commented on my video and said, you know, thanks for the response, but here's how you're wrong, basically. So they responded to my constructive criticism at the time with absolute respect. This is the best alternative. I really seriously can't think of anything better. So, you know, obviously nothing's changed. All things are great in a townhouse. But I want to talk about another thing that has changed. And in the video, I said there was no competition. There is now. There's competition from a ton of companies. There's so they make the Zildjian ones. Obviously, they had the Gen 16s. It's not competition. But they also make the Quiet Tones by Sabian. Sabian's Quiet Tones are made out of stainless steel, which is really bizarre, but so they offered those as another alternative. They're, I think it's like $20 to $30 cheaper. I don't know that, but it is cheaper than these. In my opinion, they just don't sound as good. I still think 3 years later, I think this is the gold standard. Now, mind you, there's other brands. There's Agean, which makes high-end low-volume cymbals. Because they're high-end, one, they're made out of B20 bronze alloys, so they sound better. Admittedly, they sound a lot better than these, but they're not as low volume as these. These are still industry standard low volumes. These are insanely quiet. Like I said, you can still talk, like, easily, even if you're crashing. I mean, obviously, there's a little bit of, like, noise, but it's not that bad. With the Ageans, you hear a lot more. It sounds like a normal cymbal. That's really the biggest difference between the Ageans and these. And they're also a lot more expensive. So a normal 16-inch crash by Agean runs you at around 200 something, which is the price of a normal cymbal, because it's made from a normal cymbal. One could argue that these aren't normal cymbals. These are coded and made specifically for this 80% less volume. I even said in my initial video I didn't like the finish because I thought they were sanded, and that turns out to be true. These cymbals are made, they have a certain coating on them that makes them quieter than the other competition. Like the Sabians are a little bit more high volume than these, but not by much. These have a coating on it that dulls out the sound, and it goes with the sanding. So that is true. They are sanded. But now I wanted to talk about how these cymbals have held up, because, you know, 3 years, a lot of wear and tear. And I'm going to be real with you right now. I'm going to be blunt. If you have bad technique, you're going to crack these cymbals, because they're cymbals. You're going to crack them. But for 3 years that I've been playing them, I haven't had any issues. I really haven't. You know, you got a couple marks on them here and there. You're beating on them like this. But really, if you're hitting a cymbal like this with your fist, you're going to break the cymbal. That's just wood and metal. There's really no avoiding that, because, you know, cymbals crack. But I've taken pretty good care of these. So they've held up pretty well. The sound hasn't really changed too much. I mean, these are all machines, so there's not much room for a sound growth with these, but they still sound very good. That's not to say they sound bad. I think they sound very good. You know, obviously, like I was mentioning earlier, the Ageans are higher end, so they sound better, but for the price of these and for what they are, you cannot beat these. But because of that, I want to segue into one other thing with these, and that's there really should be a mid-tier version of them. Right now, you have the Zildjian L80s. The way I look at them is that these are the Zildjian ZBT of the quiet cymbal world. Same with like the Sabians are kind of like their B8s, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to say that these are very entry level, which is fine. I mean, there is nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to be honest with you and say, if they came out with a more mid-tier that were actually maybe like hand-hammered, you know what I mean, and maybe just a little bit more volume, I would drop however much they were and buy them. I would spend them on them, because I would like that. Yes, these are absolutely amazing for teaching. They're amazing for practicing. They're amazing for this use case, because this is my main way of playing the drums. I really would love to see that. I mean, this would just ultimately enhance the experience of playing this. Of course, it doesn't have to happen, and other competition exists, so maybe it will happen from other companies, and maybe that'll budge Zildjian to eventually do it. But to me, as an entrepreneur, there is open market for these companies to do it. I think it would be absolutely amazing if they upped the quality of these and kept these, of course, because, again, these are perfect for what they are, but added a new line, kind of like they have multiple cymbal lines. That would be really cool. You know, in the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make with these, though, here is this is amazing. I will always praise these. This is such an awesome thing. I'm so happy we're living in a world where this exists. I mean, seriously, I've been playing 15 years of my life now, and words can't begin to describe how much this has changed, because if this didn't exist, I would have been limited to one of two things: playing an electronic kit or not playing at all. Obviously, in that predicament, I would take the electronic kit, and that's fine, but I really do like the experience of acoustic, and this mirrors it perfectly. It really does. Obviously, it sounds a little different, but it feels the exact same. I really can't stress enough how amazing this is. Of course, I would like to see a bit higher end version of it, but this really is amazing. So again, if you like these and you want to pick them up, the links for all the packs are in the description. There's some other cool links down there. You know, if you could, please smash this video a like, subscribe, all that YouTube lingo that people say at the end of their videos. Please do it if you want. I can't promise I'm going to do reviews of drums every time, but I do plan on doing more reviews. So if you're interested in seeing reviews of all sorts of things, maybe some are drums, maybe some aren't, you know, please hit that subscribe button, whatever the words are that people say on this YouTube land. But yeah, check the cymbals out below, do all the cool things, and I'll see you in the next one.